Hello, my name is Sean Brogan, and I'm giving a presentation today on how to give an effective PowerPoint presentation. I will discuss both designing your slides effectively and incorporating important elements of public speaking and delivery. Let's get started. The first and most important thing when giving a presentation is to know your purpose. What do you want the audience to take away from the 5 to 10 minutes you give them? Do you want them to learn how to do something? Do you want to change their perspective about a social or political issue? Whichever purpose you choose, it is important that you are passionate about the subject matter. This will make the presentation more enjoyable for both you and the audience. Another thing that will make your presentation more enjoyable is that you are able to relate the subject to past life experiences. If you can incorporate a thoughtful story or experience into the presentation, it will make you seem more relatable and personable to the audience. Another good thing is to ask something like, how many of you have been in this situation before, and have them raise their hands. It is a brief break from the seriousness of the presentation and can make the viewer think about the subject matter from their own personal perspective, again making the subject more relatable. Make your presentation flow. Not only is it important to make images you present flow from slide to slide, but also the language. It wouldn't make sense when writing a paper on the banana market to jump from the cultivation of bananas to making a banana milkshake. You would be skipping a lot of necessary steps in between. The same applies when giving a presentation. Jumping from subject to subject without a sense of flow will draw the audience's attention in a negative way, and the viewer might discredit you as a presenter and stop paying attention altogether. When designing your slides, it would be a good idea to use the rule of thirds to direct the viewer's eye where you want it to go. According to Darren Rouse, if you take a blank slide and divide it into 9 boxes, it is most effective to place the points of interest where the lines intersect. This is naturally where the human eye wants to go, so think about this when designing a slide and use it to your advantage. Though slide design is very important, remember that you are the subject, not your slides. Unless you are showing statistics or some sort of graph to relate it to your presentation, the slides are really only there to support the subject matter. This is why Steven Ransom suggests that you do not put tons of text on your slides, because it is proven that people can't read something and listen to something at the same time. Use images to support the subject and use your words and delivery to get the point across. Be confident. It doesn't matter your size, age, sex, race, any of these things. People will listen to you if you are confident in your delivery. Use relaxed body language when giving your speech, and the audience will be way more engaged. On a bigger stage, don't be afraid to walk around rather than standing in one spot. This will give more of a relaxed feel, and your audience will be more relaxed if they know you aren't nervous. As well as showing proper body language, make sincere eye contact with different members of the audience throughout your speech. People notice when you stare at the back wall of a room rather than looking at different people in the crowd. If you look at any stand-up comedian, they're constantly changing who they're looking at throughout their routine. You obviously don't want to change who you're looking at every half second because you look very frantic, but find a pace that works for you. Remember to pause. Maybe you just ask the audience a question. Let them sit and reflect on it for a few seconds. Giving a presentation isn't a race to the finish. If you give yourself time to breathe and let the audience reflect on the subject matter, you won't feel out of breath, and the audience will have more time to comprehend the message you're trying to give. Practice. Practice in front of real people. You could write out the entire narration of your presentation and think it feels comfortable, but then when you go to give it, you realize it might not flow together, or the audience may give you a puzzled look. If you practice in front of real people, you can go back to places of awkwardness and mold your presentation to flow more comfortably. Also, practicing will help you pace yourself so you don't run under or over the given amount of time you have to speak. Very important, have a backup. Most of the time, there's internet available to retrieve your file from, whether it's Google Drive or an email, but what if the internet goes down? You would probably want to have a flash drive or even 2 flash drives with a file on it to ensure that you have it. It's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Lastly, enjoy yourself. If you're giving a speech, the audience will enjoy your speech and be happy they gave you their undivided attention. Who can say they've ever enjoyed watching someone where the person showed absolutely no enthusiasm or looked like they didn't want to be here? Because I know I have not. So show enthusiasm, enjoy what you're doing, and the audience will enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching this presentation, and I wish you the best of luck in the future with the design and delivery of your PowerPoint slides.